Okay, I'm so confused with this whole Wonder Woman stuff, bro. I really am. Like, first they said that she's staying. Now they're saying that she's not. Like, I don't think DC has their mind made up. Or does DC have their mind made up and people are just creating false rumors?
What my impression was that she was still going, that Gal Gadot was still going to be affiliated with Wonder Woman, and now I'm hearing that they're making a Wonder Woman 3, and then Gal Gadot's going to star in it, and then she's going to stay as Wonder Woman in the new DCU. So it's like kind of confusing to me because it's like her character's already been affiliated with the DCEU, and if the DCEU is technically a different universe, what is the same Wonder Woman doing in two different universes?
Yeah. It's not
And by
like,
my knowledge, Wonder Woman ain't no dimension hopper.
nah. The
But
Flash.
sure, but I mean, if you're gonna start fresh with like a brand new Superman, a brand new Batman, a brand new Green Lantern Corps,
Brand new everything, basically.
shoot it off with a brand new Wonder Woman. Give us someone new. You know what I mean? Gal Gadot is
Hmm.
amazing as Wonder Woman in my opinion. I absolutely love her. I love the first movie. The second movie, I feel like wasn't her fault, obviously, but
Didn't
it
do her
was.
justice, though.
Yeah, it didn't do her justice. It's a very terrible movie. I really hated it. Um, First movie though is one of my favorite DC movies,
Mm-hmm.
and I still kind of rewatch it from time to time as much as I do Man of Steel or the Dark Knight series.
I was about to say,
Um,
please don't say BVS.
I
First
do
off, the
first. I
movie's
do first. I do. The only things I rewatch on BVS are the fight scenes, like between Batman and Superman. That's it,
so like 10 minutes of the movie out
pretty
of its
much.
3 hour long
Yeah,
craze.
but I
Somebody's
go. I don't ever go to like the whole movie. I just go on YouTube.
So here's the thing. I a week ago sat through the whole movie of BVS.
Yeah.
I watched the Ultimate Edition, so it was the 3 hour one.
Yeah.
Probably the worst mistake, because it was a huge drag, and I was watching it for hey, maybe there's some lore that they put in here that a lot of people may not know about, but it was just a complete waste of time. It
Yeah.
was
Just
just the same scenes, 10 minutes longer.
yeah.
That's all it
And then
was.
Jesse Eisenberg's character isn't. He's not a convincing Lex Luthor.
Well, let's be honest though. That that kind of like monologue
Yeah, he
he
did have a
had,
good monologue.
it was good. I thought, what did he say? Something about like, if God is all powerful, then he can't be all good, and if God
Is
is
all
all
good, then he cannot be all
can't be all
powerful.
powerful. That's fire. That's
And then he
probably
was
one of the
like,
most fire lines.
yeah, and then he was like, said something about he's like angels don't come from the sky, they come from the ground up or something like that. BVS. I mean, I only ever watched the scenes where he's fighting Superman or Batman in the warehouse scene where he's taking out all those guys.
I didn't. You know what's crazy? I didn't really even like the nightmare scenes like that. Like, watching it, I actually didn't like the
Oh no,
nightmare
I
scenes.
didn't like any of the nightmare scenes. It was way
It
too
just
off for
felt
me.
weird.
Yeah, like I
They're
said,
trying
the
to
only
give like a
scenes I liked
whole.
was the fight scenes between Superman and Batman, and the Batman in the warehouse where he was going to save Martha.
Hmm.
That's it. Only scenes I like.
I feel like what they were trying to do with the nightmare scene, looking back at it, it was kind of like they were setting up Apocalypse War, their own Apocalypse War. Because if you look down at like the ground when he was looking out at that shit, it had Darkseid's emblem.
Yeah,
So maybe they were trying to like, hey, this scene is gonna make a full circle when we drop our own Apocalypse War at the time, because I'm pretty sure at the time they had a whole itinerary plan of like these movies are gonna drop and blah blah blah. Because at one point, there
they
was a
did.
release
They
date
had they
for
had a they had a list of movies.
they had a
Like they
release
even
date for
had.
Cyborg
Hmm.
that came out in 2020, that was supposed to come out in 2022, and I remember seeing that back in like 2017.
Right. Yep. It was a bunch of movies. It was a Batman movie, a Man of Steel 2, a Cyborg, Wonder
Mm-hmm.
Woman 2.
Green
Before it
Lantern
was
movie.
shit. Like Green Lantern movie. Yeah. Um.
There was so much stuff. So I think
Yeah.
that scene right there was
Justice League
supposed to
2,
come
3.
back.
Yep.
It was supposed to come back as their own Apocalypse War thing, so they would have revisited that scene for sure.
I think, in my opinion, I think they did it way too early. I think they introduced all
Yeah.
that way too early. Like, this is the second movie in. I think
Mm,
you build it up the same way, the same formula kind of Marvel did. Just do some solos. That when you want to do that team up movie, either do it before that team up movie or you do it after that team up movie. Like,
mm.
kind of
It's like an
introduce
end
that.
credit.
Yeah, kind of introduce that. That, yeah, not even end credit. I like that it was implemented in the middle of the movie, like kind of like in a either a dream or
Like a nightmare.
or a time travel scene. You know, because Barry
Mm-hmm.
does time travel in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even like if it's, something like that where it's just randomly thrown into the movie and everybody's like, "What the fuck just happened?" Something like
Mm-hmm.
that. But in a bigger movie, I feel like for this type of movie, it is a big movie. Technically, it should have been a bigger movie, um, but I feel like it was just wasted, like too early on in the DCEU.
Yeah. I mean, what they were trying to do, because you got to think Man of Steel came out a year after the first Marvel's team up movie, which is the Avengers. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So they're already like what, prior to the Avengers movie coming out, they're 4 or 5 movies behind.
Yeah.
So Zack Snyder is playing catch up. So he's like, fuck it. We need to be on the same route. So that way, if the DCU is becoming successful all the way up until 2019, they can drop a Justice League 2 movie the same time as Endgame and try to battle it out with Marvel.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they were trying to do. Which let's think about it like this, because I
Mm-hmm.
know we can reminisce all day about how what ifs and stuff like that. But what if I'm doing a what if right now? What if the DCU actually ended up being successful just as much as Marvel, and we got a Endgame and an Apocalypse War movie the same year? That would be nuts. Bro, that would break box office number. You know for sure that they would be like, Endgame and Apocalypse War have combined for $7 billion at the box office. This is the most money that movie theaters have ever made in their lives.
I will say, I think Endgame still would have made way more money than
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
Justice League, Apocalypse War, whatever.
I feel
It's
like
just
Apocalypse War.
by the way that the DCU was going, even if it was still going and consistent and not as much of a mess, I
Mhm.
still feel like, you know, Marvel had it in the bag.
I feel like they could have at least pushed to
Mm-hmm.
almost 2 billion.
Mm-hmm.
For an Apocalypse one, they could have pushed for almost 2 billion, and it would
This
have been
is
the highest grossing. They should have made it rated R, and it probably would have been the highest grossing rated R movie.
right, and this is where I think James Gunn will do that right.
This video is brought to you by CPR Ninjas. If you live in the Central Florida area, then this is a place for you to get CPR certified. At CPR Ninjas, their passion is to provide you with knowledge and skills needed to perform high-quality CPR with accuracy and precision. Javon and Lysandra Washington have been working in the healthcare industry since the mid-1990s and share 35 plus years combined in healthcare.
Siobhan and Lysandra are both registered nurses with diverse backgrounds, which include home care, hospital care, acute care, wound care, hospice care, pediatrics, research, and higher learning education. Together, they share a passion to reach the community, provide education that will save lives, and improve quality of life. As American Health Association instructors, they also share the same vision with the AHA to building a healthier tomorrow.
If you want to get started on a course today, go ahead and email Javon at cprninjas.com. Or if you want to call, it's 813-603-6898. Now back to our video.